So in this session, we're going to talk about why your director's notes matters and everything you're going to be learning inside of this module. In short, your director's notes are the blueprint that shapes your entire film. Let me explain what I mean. So your director's notes determines character consistency across every scene and every shot. It determines how settings and objects appear and maintain continuity. And it also determines the visual style and rules of your world, how characters sound, speak, and to a certain degree, even behave. Everything ties back to your director's notes. Essentially, your director's notes is combining a few different functions that a real life film director would do. There's the casting director, which is character, appearance, and voices. And this is important. Who are you actually bringing into the cast who's going to be in your film? There's the props and wardrobe, which is objects, clothing, and visual details. And there's set and location design, which is settings and different backdrops for scenes. If these teams aren't aligned, the film's just going to feel disjointed. So ultimately, director's notes unifies everything for the movie machine. The good news is that the movie machine auto-generates your director's notes for you based on the script or story or book you upload. So you start with a great foundation already done. Hopefully it gets you 90% of the way there. But like any great film director, you must refine them. Small improvements here lead to massive savings in times and coin later. Why? Is because if we start to generate video with a character that you actually don't like how they look, maybe you want to change the color of their hair, we then have to go and regenerate all that video if you want to make a change to that character's hair. And that's going to cost a lot of money. It's $20 per minute of video generated. So again, that's going to cost a lot of money to fix later. Whereas if you fix it first in the director's notes, you'll never have spent that money and never have spent that time. Getting the director's notes and these visual foundations to your films right first is really what's now going to help you be able to ensure your film's consistent and looks the way you want throughout your story. So what we're going to learn in this module is a few really important things. How to review your director's notes. This is really a checklist of what you need to think and go through as you're on the director's note step. Remember, it starts with the director's note step, then there's the storyboard step, and then lastly is the editor step. So in this step, we're going to be talking all about what you need to do to go from director's notes and then feel good to begin the storyboard. Then we're going to talk about how to identify what needs to change. Of course, we're going to talk about how to change these things. You can edit characters, merge and refine them, and do the same thing for settings, objects, and voices. And ultimately, we want to help you prepare your director's notes so storyboarding becomes easy and consistent. So we're going to talk about all of this, including character wardrobes, importing characters from other projects, and more. Ultimately, your role as a director is to ask yourself, what do I want my characters to look like? Like, you may have never thought of a story as a storyteller, like exactly what your characters should look like. You maybe thought of some things, but maybe you don't know what every character you want them to look like. So the movie machine is going to tell you what it thinks your character should look like based on your story, but you may disagree or want something different, and this is where we're going to go to change that. What do you want your world to feel like? What are the settings that you want? And what is the tone of those settings? Dark settings? Do you want it to be light and happy settings? Some that maybe incorporate both. And then what objects or details matter to this story? This is also super key. What are the things that, if it's a sword that a character is holding, that you're like, I need that sword to be consistent throughout this. So ultimately, this mindset will guide everything we do next. Okay, I'll see you all in our next session. I'm so excited to keep diving into this.